And we are back with On the Record with Tiffany with my special guest, Angie Lewis.
Hi.
Angie, would you tell us a little bit about what you do?
Sure. So I am the Vice President of Business Banking Relationship Manager at our Stone Oak office with the Bank of San Antonio. And really what I do is portfolio management. I manage a portfolio of clients for lending and deposits, and it's really just relationship management with business owners here in the community.
So, Angie, that is wonderful. What have you experienced so far since we've been going through the last 2 months with COVID-19, with riots? All the world seems to be upside down right now.
Yeah, I would definitely say it's mass chaos right now. We went from being busy lending,
right.
Which felt like it was going to be a really great year. We had a direction that we were taking with the bank in terms of bringing in new clients and what that strategy looked like, and that changed quickly. And so I would say that, we've had to quickly change our focus to PPP loans. That's been the big thing. So for 5 weeks, you sat at your desk processing PPP loan applications, and there's been some good and bad. I was telling a girlfriend of mine the other day that, from my perspective, I went on a walk the other day, and I was thinking to myself, people have been able to stay at home, with their family, and they've gotten this downtime, and we haven't really gotten that. We haven't really been able
right.
to. We've experienced it, but we've experienced what's happening in a different way because we've been so busy, and our focus really has been on how can we help our community, how can we help save their businesses, and so we've had our head in the computer, and we've processed over we were just talking about this 700 applications and almost $184 million in new loans to the bank.
Wow.
And been able to save about 25,000 jobs. And so
25,000 jobs in San Antonio.
Jobs in San Antonio, yeah. And it's we've got that second part of PPP, and so that number is continuing to go up. So.
Every time I pray about what's been going on with us as a nation and as a world, because this has swept the entire world. COVID-19 has swept the entire world and affected all of us. It's not a political thing. It's not a Democrats or Republicans. This is a stop, take a moment, and reflect kind of situation. And what I've seen with Bank of San Antonio has been wonderful, because local businesses, small businesses run this country. That's what fuels our nation. That's what makes us the great capitalistic society that we are. It's the small businesses. It's not the huge Fortune 500 companies, though we love them. They're great. It's the small businesses that keep people employed, that give us our beautiful city and all of the many different selections that we have that are so unique to us. Small business does that, not mass market. And so when Bank of San Antonio saved all of those jobs, San Antonians saved jobs for San Antonians. As this has unfolded, I've just thought about, where is God in this? He's showing us so many things about what's important, that the checkout girl is just as important as the lawyer up the street.
Yeah.
That the janitor is just as important as your doctor is.
Yeah.
Because your janitor is going to save your life just as much as anyone else. And that your banker is as important as your doctor, because they're keeping the economy open.
Yeah. That's how we met, right?
That's right.
That's it was a client
saving my employees.
Yeah, and
saving their jobs.
In our mind, although we were working from home, every call was as important as the call before it. And
you answered me I emailed you on a Saturday night, and you answered me on a Sunday.
Yeah.
And that's what, I can tell you right now, big market banks, nobody was going to answer me on a Sunday.
Yeah, well, we were having Laura and I were having a really hard time. I mean, we would go to, we would stop working at 8:00 at night, and we hadn't spent all day with our families. But even when you go to bed at night, it's like, I'm really that stopgap between people getting their money or not getting their money, because we were just processing. And
you were that stopgap between people having a job or people being in the 40 million who don't.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what you were the stopgap between.
Yeah.
That's definitely what you were the stopgap between for me and my staff.
And there, we've had the cool thing, that came out of this, and that's still coming out of this, is just the people that you get to meet, because we're in the banking business, right? But it's really the people business, if you call it what it is. And we get to meet people all day long who everyone has a different story, how they started their business, what's going on in their business, how they're managing their business. And my goal at coming into this PPP was to say, not only what can I do, but how can I connect people in the community? Because I can be the expert at this, but I can't be the expert at everything, right? And so what was really amazing is to see the community come together to just give information to people about what was happening and just informing them. And they were informing me. I had a CPA I was working with here locally, and he would call me every day and he'd say, "This is what I learned today. What did you hear?" And so we would share information. There was another company here in town, Pax Financial, and they were doing calls every day or once a week, I believe, with their business owners to say, "Hey, these are some strategies that we've put in place. Phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. As a business owner, these are some of the things you should be doing to prepare yourself for this first phase of what's happening, the next phase, and then the next phase." And that was, they had asked me to come on and talk about just the process and the program and what, we were getting, I think SBA put out we had 3 applications come out before they really got the right application out, and now we've still got questions about forgiveness. Clients emailing every day, what about this? What can we do here? And the reality of it is that we still don't have a lot of clarification or guidance in regards to some of the real meaty specifics that business owners need to know right now. And so a lot of people took this money under one idea, but it's changing quickly. And I don't think it, it may hurt some people, it may not, but the reality of it is people still needed it. And now people are contemplating, well, do we even ask for forgiveness, or do we just take money at 1% interest rate? Because where are you going to get that kind of money? Where
and use it for what we need to use it for.
Exactly. And wait, because I don't know if we're going to have round 2 of this. The fall's going to be here before we know it. And so...
and we don't know what's going to happen with this, because it's still... we don't have a vaccine for it. We still have the same set of issues.
Yeah. And so, what we've done is we've just continued to encourage people to operate as safely as they possibly can. And the reality of it is that we are just living in a different time. And what that means is that we're having to adjust. And as people, I think in general, we have always done a great job of adjusting to whatever happens. And so it's weird for us to walk into places now and see people with masks on. It's even weird for me to see that.
Yeah.
But that's the reality in the world that we live in. And so you play it safe, but people still have to open. People still need doctors. People still need banking. They still need groceries.
Regardless of whether or not it's uncertain times, there's still definitive necessities that we have to have.
And then just for mental health, because that's a completely different topic, I'm sure. But, for those who have suffered with depression and anxiety, this is just taken that to a whole new level. And
Did you see some of the statistics that in regards to drinking, there were runs being made on the liquor stores because people I guess we're reacting to their anxiety over
Well,
over
it's just
what's
like the
going
grocery thing, you know, the toilet paper and
on. I'm like, how much? I mean, how much Tanqueray can one have? I don't understand why.
And
you
how
would
does
eat
that make life a little better? Yeah,
yeah, it does.
Well, I mean, you know, but yeah.
But it's funny, like when you're all of a sudden thrust into the middle of something like COVID-19. It forces you to look at how are you managing money? What does money how much money do you really need in order to operate, and what do you want to do with this? Like, how far do you want to go? Like, for me, as we kind of traverse this path with COVID-19, it really made me think about underlying conditions. What do people need? Yeah. What can you live with and what can you live without, you know, and how important it is for us economically to be sound.
Yeah, and you know, we were talking about I had mentioned the phase part earlier. One of the things that they had mentioned in their phasing is, you know, as a business owner, what kind of things do you phase out of first? You know, choosing which employees are essential and non-essential, right? But just knowing that there are some things that you're going to have to cut as a family and as a business owner that aren't going to be as necessary as they have in the past. And something that we've been talking to a lot of our families and obviously business owners about is how important it is to have cash right now. Because what we've found is that a lot of business owners have they've operated on month to month, right? There's been no savings plan. There's been no plan. You just go from month to month because they're barely making it. And so you're going to have, you know, we're in a season right now where we're going to, unfortunately, I think, see some people go out of business because they didn't plan, they didn't save, they didn't have that cash on hand. And as individuals, what we're attempting to do is just support them in terms of, you know, going out and using the business if we can. But on the other side of that, telling people as they come through, hey, let's have a plan to put some money aside.
Yeah, let's figure out how we can do this.
Yeah, it's an emergency plan, right? And
everyone needs to have an emergency plan. Well, thank you so much, Angie. And you've been listening to On the Record with Tiffany.